actually going to start things off a bit differently here today. As currently Commander Solon is not on board the Tenshi. But for a quick recap for all of our listeners and everything, after a certain banquet and hall meeting at a secure location with the Aerthians, or if I'm saying that right because of the tongue, the individual known as the Oracle was taken by people in suits of armor, as well as Commander Solon, who grasped to try and pin one down and capture them, and inadvertently resulted in his own capture. And we are going to cut to a somewhere else. That's a lot of Windows errors.
Oh, I'm sorry, studio health. Okay, I am where? Oh, she's pretty. Oh, shame I'm a Vulcan.
Aren't you married?
That was in a different reality.
Different timeline.
In real reality, tomorrow is my 27th wedding anniversary.
Congratulations.
Well, happy anniversary.
Both me and my wife forgot until today.
That happens. It's only a date.
As long as it was both of you.
Yeah.
Okay. It's fine. I don't want you to continue to dox yourself anymore. So, you find yourself as you're slowly kind of coming to. You feel it's kind of a cold, damp floor that you're currently laying on, and as you eyes begin to wake, you look over and you see the Oracle, Shinzuka, like sort of feeling the wall and making her way down alongside of it. She goes, "Oh, you're awake."
I don't remember not being awake. Did they do something to me?
They appear to have incapacitated us as soon as we arrived. Are you feeling all right? She's kind of moving along the wall, touching and feeling it.
I will move to where she is so she can find me. Am I feeling all right?
You have a slight headache, and you're not sure why.
Other than slight discomfort, I am healthy. How about yourself? Are you healthy?
I am fine, other than the discomfort I am currently feeling.
Headache?
Yes.
Perhaps a result of whatever they did to sedate us.
Perhaps, but I don't feel that that's the case. I cannot see. And she kind of moves and touches and feels along the side of your face.
Is that not your normal condition?
Yes, I am unable to see the way you do. My sight is different.
Explain, please. If you can.
It is, well, difficult for some, but I see typically the energy of others.
Let's see. Can you perceive my presence in the room?
I cannot.
Interesting. Has anything similar ever happened to you before?
Once, but we don't use it. We have tools and devices that dampen the effect of our psionic abilities. I fear that they are currently using this. Though
Let's see.
I do not feel anything attached to my head.
That is a logical conclusion. Prax, what is the area we're in? Can you describe the area we're in again?
From what you can tell, as a describe a bit further, you are currently in what appears to be a rather large cell. There's it looks almost like stone that's been carved away out of the side of a or dug out in a way, and then laid with some massive, stone masonry work. And on the one side of the wall, you can see a hallway and what appears to be sort of an iron or steel type bars and a little shimmering around it.
You said shimmering around the bars?
Yeah, like something's interacting with it.
All right. Is it like a large opening with bars across it? Or does it look like a cell door of some type?
It looks more like a cell door that you can kind of see into the hall.
All right. Are there any loose rocks or anything like that around?
None that you can see off right away.
Okay. If I tell the Oracle just to stay where she is, I want to investigate something. If I step close to the bar, do I hear like humming or anything like that?
Yes, you hear a slight hum.
Reminiscent of like electricity or power of some sort?
Hard to say. It could be.
Well, it seems unwise to reach out and grab it with the information you've given me. Is there an obvious like keyhole? So I'm thinking because the picture in my mind is like one of these old west.
Kinda, yeah, but there's no keyhole that you can discern.
We'll just call out loudly, not screaming or anything, just call out loudly. Is there anybody there?
Your call goes unanswered.
All right, then the first duty of a prisoner is escape. So I'm going to begin. I'm just going to kind of do a systematic search of the cell, beginning with the door, looking for weaknesses, places, weaknesses on the wall.
Give me reason plus engineering difficulty 2.
Reason, engineering, difficulty 2. I don't have any focuses for that. I'm going to give you a threat. Just to see if I can get to buy an extra die. Guess I needed it.
As you kind of start looking around the room, and you kind of get the idea that you're deep underground. This area has been sort of crudely constructed, but probably sometime within the last few decades. There's no sign of, it's fairly well sealed. Whoever did the work did a pretty decent job despite, the conditions. The only thing you could see that would be the point of light, a single point of light above you that has or sort of caged behind it, could perhaps offer you some assistance with, because it is a active, power source in a way.
Okay, so just to make sure I'm hearing what you're describing, it's like a light source inside, like a light fixture with a cage around.
Yes,
okay.
Like a light bulb that's got a cage.
All right. Well, I'm going to go back to the Oracle and tell her it appears that for the moment we may be left with no option but to wait. How long have you been awake before I awoken?
A few hours, I think. It is hard to tell time when you cannot see.
Understandable. It was logical to assume that if they were going to kill us, we would be dead already. So someone will eventually be along to feed us or question us. And so we can take the time to just wait. There are no obvious weaknesses to our cell, though there is one remote possibility. Jim, how far up is this light fixture? I mean, can I reach it from
12?
the floor?
No, it's like about 12 feet. The ceiling is like the top is it's 10 feet or 12 feet from the floor to the ceiling.
Looking at the Oracle, how is she built physically? I mean, is she someone that could boost a 6-foot Vulcan up? Like yes is the answer to that question. Is no, but I have to ask.
Probably not. She's not real physically built.
Speaking of verifying assumptions, and do I retain any of my equipment?
You notice that the device that was attached to your neck has been removed. You are in your full uniform with your comm badge present.
Interesting. All right, now I got to start thinking. I'm sorry, I'm being quiet. I'm trying to think of all the different things I might be able to do with the electronics and my comm badge without tools. It's kind of a short list. I'm going to just touch it to verify this still has power. Get the little chirpy. Or at least verify that the combat is still functioning.
Currently it is not.
Can I determine if it's drained of power, or is it being jammed somehow or dampened?
You're unsure.
No, that's fair. Look at the Oracle. Oracle, how familiar are you with electrical systems?
That is not my field of expertise.
I understand. I see we have two options that I can envision at the moment. We can simply wait until one of our captors arrive. Or we can experiment with the light source on the ceiling and to see if we can somehow discover a way to free ourselves. Though that will require me holding you up to the ceiling and then trying to walk you through getting the cage from around the light source. I think our most prudent course of action may be to wait until our captors arrive. But I am willing to attempt to secure our release, so it may be challenging.
I can attempt to do so, though you'll have to point me in the right direction.
It is the first duty of a captured Starfleet officer to attempt to escape. All right, so I will lead her over to until we're under. This will be fun with my fitness score. To lead her under the light source. And I'll kind of describe what we're going to do before I lift her up, but I'll kind of try to boost her up so she can reach it.
Okay, this sounds like this is several tasks. So,
yes.
Control Khan to lead her and kind of help guide her to where, the point where she needs to kind of touch and get to the light source.
That sounds like a fairly low difficulty task.
Difficulty is 1. So,
okay.
Not going to be hard.
We'll try that flat. All right.
You succeed. So you walk her over and you point up. Like guide her hand and point like it's, straight above you.
And then I'm going to describe what I see to her because I don't want her touching the light source of the cage and burning herself.
This is going to be a presence plus engineering difficulty of 2.
Okay. Can I argue for that to be presence plus command?
No, it's very technical what you're telling her what to do.
Okay, that's fair. I'll give you a threat for that one. Damn it. Darn it. Shucks.
So yes, you tell her where it is and you describe it the best you can. So you're now going to lift her up?
Yeah, I'm going to describe the best I can, so I have to make the assumption that
Yep.
While the player knows he failed the role, the Solon thinks he did a good job.
So. Fitness security, difficulty of 1. She's not that heavy, so.
Yeah, all right. I'm going to try this without giving you any more threat.
Okay.
Interesting. Hey, I got it.
You lift her up. She attempts to go through. As she touches the source, she does her best, and then she pulls away. She accidentally touched one of the bars. Ooh, that's not good. Taking 4 stress.
Dang.
As she burns her hand.
I'm going to bring her back down because that was more damaging than I thought it would be. I do not want to injure the Oracle further. I'll bring her down. Say perhaps we should wait for our captors.
By the way, the pointing up is like Solon reaches up and she kind of follows his arm and hand up to where it would be. So that's her way of kind of seeing.
Yeah, I think we're gonna wait. We're gonna try diplomacy and wait because I don't. 4 stress is a lot of. There'd be a lot of stress for me. So I will. I think we'll wait for our captors.
Yeah, she screams out in pain, and that was.
I will see if
foolish of me. My apologies, Commander.
none is required, Oracle. Perhaps my instructions were not adequate. I'm going to see if there's anything I can do to relieve her pain, though I'm guessing the answer to that is no, but I have to try.
Oof. Go ahead and give me a daring plus medicine difficulty of 3 to kind of bandage, because it is a burn. You do realize that it's a burn. You could, maybe cover it up, and kind of tend to the wound a little bit from, the collect some of the, water that's accumulated from moisture on the walls.
Yeah, I'm going to need that determination later. I'll give you 3 threat. I don't really want to, but I'm going to do it anyway. I probably said that too low. I'm going to give him 3 threat for the 2 extra dice. I got it.
You managed enough to where you can clean the wound off, and you tear part of your uniform and properly bandage up, but it's still gonna need a dermal regenerator or other more
but
advanced
I've done
method. Yeah, you've done what you could.
Yeah, and then I think we're going to wait for our captors. I'm going to ask the Oracle. So, is there anything you can tell me about our enemies, or anything that perhaps or prophecies have said about this moment?
Are you asking if I foresaw our capture? Then yes. In terms for who we are facing, I have no idea. They elude my sight.
Interesting. What have you seen regarding our capture? Just that we were captured, or perhaps more?
All I know is that I would be captured along with someone else, but I did not know anything further than that. The rest of my vision is in darkness.
I'm curious, did you take steps to prevent it from happening, or allow this to happen because changing what you've seen will cause other things to happen?
All I will say, there has been many past before me, and this one, it assures the safety of my people.
And my captive is instrumental to this.
I could not see who was here with me.
I understand that, but it was Captain Aerthian that seemed to be of primary interest to your people when we arrived. He has some integral part to play in what you have foreseen.
His path goes another route.
Fascinating. Well, since it appears we have time, could you tell me more about your abilities, what it means to be an oracle, and what abilities you possess as an oracle?
While as a child, I used to see like you do. As my abilities grow, I lost my ability to see. But I gained a different sight allows me to see the energy that exists in all life. Though it is a little daunting at times, not being able to find your way around the room. Though my visions, when I have visions when I sleep, and usually I'm not the one that guides them, but the Widow of Time that guides me. She shows me of what is to come and possible futures, or what hasn't transpired.
Saying that the visions you have are of possible futures and not definite, that the future that you see can be changed.
Some can and some cannot. Ones that are shrouded in more darkness are ones that are typically can change in the moment. Ones that are clear to me typically are unavoidable.
And you said the path that we are on would lead to success for your people. Was that one clear or dark?
It was the one that is the more clear of several.
Fascinating. Like, out of character, perhaps I don't know what else that I would ask her, and so we probably would wait unless she has questions for the Vulcan. Probably wait for our captors to come check on us, feed us, shoot us, interrogate us, whatever.
You kind of, the two of you engage in like small talk. She inquisitively kind of like asks, like almost she kind of knows you in a way. You know, your time in the alternate timeline and how that conflict made you feel.
Well, the fact that she wants to talk about that is interesting, since that didn't really happen. I would inquire about, how she would be aware of events that happened and yet did not happen.
Her response is the Widow of Time showed it to her.
Is she saying widow or window?
Widow.
Okay, for a minute it was like, she knows the Guardian forever? Who is this Widow of Time?
When I see her, she looks like me, more like a reflection.
As far as her asking about how Solon feels about those things, Solon would of course tell her that he is a Vulcan and does not experience emotion like others do. And then he would spend, the kind of fill that waiting for the captor's time with the description of Vulcan culture and, talking about the Serac and the philosophy of Vulcan philosophy and fascinate her in that way.
As you do that, you notice across from the jail cell wall, two, what appears to be your would-be attackers.
Solon will stand and interpose his body in front of the oracles, but place his hands behind his back in a non-threatening Vulcan-type posture.
And in a semi-robotic voice, they tell you, stand aside.
I will not.
Very well. And he goes to his arm, and he almost like he's interfacing with something. And I need you to make a fitness plus medicine difficulty of 3.
Wow. By the way, is he inside or outside the cell?
He's outside the cell.
Darn it. All right. Well, I'm gonna. Dang, boy. I'm sorry, guys. I'm building up threat like there's no tomorrow. I'm gonna give you another threat and hope I get.
You begin to feel intense pain as you say that, and to the point where your vision begins to go blurry, and you collapse onto the floor in intense pain as the bars on the cell, as the shimmering goes away, kind of retract into the ground, and they step in, and you see the Oracle kind of like grasping her head in pain, and they take her away.
Jim, hold on. When they lower the bars and come in, is there any way I can spend my determination or something to push through that and attack them when they're in the bar in the cell, or is the pain too debilitating?
The pain is too debilitating. And as your vision fades, you black out and you're asleep. As we now cut to the bridge of the Tenshi. So, no items on the table, but this is a scene change. Currently, the Tenshi nears the system in question. You have been at warp for roughly close to a week. You're traveling literally 20 light years.
And we're approaching a planet we believe to be held by these Kulathians.
Yes.
Ships can be yellow alert as we approach.
Is Volkov on the bridge?
Yeah. Unless she was busy doing something else, but I think she would be on the bridge.
Vogel, give me insight plus science, assisted by the ship's sensors plus science, difficulty of 1.
Just BRB'd.
Also, someone feel free to play a supporting character. I do have stuff for your character, but I don't know how long, stuff they're going through is going to take. So.
Yeah, we can roll with Grozin since they stepped away. What was the roll?
Insight plus science, assisted by the ship's sensors plus science, difficulty of 1.
Sensor science.
I believe that's 4 momentum gained, gentlemen. I'll go ahead and just RP this because it's more. Captain, I am detecting multiple gravitational distortions appearing near our current vector.
Are they like gravity wells? Are they repulsing?
Probably same in nature to the other ship we encountered before. They use some kind of gravity distortion to cloak themselves.
They're small pocket of wells, almost like. For a momentum, I will answer this question.
Sure.
Doop, doop.
When did we come across a ship that cloaked itself using a gravity well?
The other side of this, the refugee people.
The gravitational distortion is similar to that of a wormhole.
Very
And-
well. Helm, adjust course to go around the distortions.
Wait, who were you saying we met who had the
So with the
gravity
refugees.
back at the starbase?
Yes.
Captain, we might attempt to hail them.
If sensors confirm presence of ships, I'll hail them. But otherwise, sensors science said it was a wormhole appearance. He looks at the science officer like waiting for him to elaborate, or correct him.
Can you check it against the records of the Zithillian ship that the anomaly we picked up before that revealed itself?
Please read
Compare it
Discord.
with-
Captain, there is a okay, I'm not sure if there's a spelling mistake there or if that is
Sorry, what?
second. There's appears to be 6 vessels around us.
Thick what? I didn't hear you. Sorry.
6 vessels, ships.
The gravity distortions, it's cloaking.
Yeah.
They've decloaked.
I literally couldn't hear because there was noise. That's why I asked.
It is coming through someone's microphone is beeps.
Very well. I'll stop. Verify the sensor. Verify what these ships are against the ship's computer. Hail.
Unknown, sir. They are not any design we have on record. They're hailing us. On screen, sir.
Do you put it on screen?
Yeah, that is as putting it on screen.
This is Admiral Krytos of the Imperial Navy. To Starfleet vessel, you have entered our sovereign space. Please turn away. This is your only warning.
I am Captain Athaton of the USS Tenshi, representing the United Federation of Planets. I'm approaching your space with intent to find my officer, who, as to my knowledge, is in your Imperial custody. I would like to arrange for his return to my service.
We hold no Starfleet officer here. You have been misinformed. Turn away or be destroyed.
I have eyewitness accounts of persons in your uniforms from your faction assaulting a diplomatic meeting, at which point one of my officers was taken from the scene. If you like, I can give you a copy of those accounts so you can investigate from your end. Please understand that I mean no hostile intent. However, the capture of a Starfleet officer requires my intervention with all best ability.
Presence command difficulty of 2.
Disarming nature?
Diff 1.
Sir, it is imperative to know the status of Commander Solon, if you will, sir.
Okay, we're getting there.
Yeah, we have to get them to admit he has them first.
So I'm trying to help.
Oh, you're trying to give an assist, I see.
I have a persuasion as a focus.
No.
Okay.
I'm going to throw a momentum at this.
I'm actually going to spend 2 threat because of that comment and increase the complication range by 1.
Sorry, what?
I'm spending 2 threat and increasing the complication to 2. So comp range is 2.
Okay.
He's not happy with that comment.
How dare you accuse us?
I'm going to squash because that's enough to hit it, but
Good idea.
You spent a momentum, right?
I spent a momentum to get the 3rd die, and when I got the comp, I threw the last 2 I had to squash the comp.
Very well. Transmit your data.
Well, I tap at my chair console and send over the accounts of what happened.
A few moments pass by as the image changes to something else and then comes back on. These are not my men.
Then whose men might they be, Admiral?
For all I'm aware of, this could be a simple plot for you to gain access to our space and prelude to an invasion.
The United Federation of Planets has no intent for conquest or invasion. Our intent is to explore this region of space and to make contact with any civilizations in this area, including yourself. I regret that our contact is in an unpleasant manner. However, if your government did not affect the capture of one of my officers, then someone wearing your uniform did. And I would like your assistance in finding out who that is so I can get my officer back. If you wish to fly with us under escort in collaboration in this investigation, because right now what it's looking like is if I turn around and I go back to Federation space, what I have to report to them is that a officer of another Navy informed me that they have one of our officers, so that we have reports of you having our officers and you're denying it. And then you would be not cooperating with that investigation. I want to cooperate with you because I want to find the truth of what's going on. I'm not looking for a fight.
Presence command opposed.
I do apologize, Admiral. I just looking out for my people. As you are.
December Nature or the Palm Leaf of Peace mission, could those apply here to help me out?
They both should be able to apply.
Okay.
Can't remember what Palm Leaf does.
It's in my sheet, but basically, when attempting to persuade, one's permission when attempting persuade to prevent violence, I may reduce difficulty of the persuade by one, minimum of one.
Okay, so you have
So it's
two.
like disarm, but it's one's permission.
So 2 auto successes.
And go ahead.
In that case, I'm gonna roll 4 dice. This guy's not a nice person. Just FYI.
Don't worry, you can keep those threat. I'm gonna keep up with you.
Oh, I just got him away. I'm trying to get rid of threat, guys. What are you doing? Could be really bad for Solon later on. I mean,
Well, that's his problem.
well, that's 3. Sorry, 4.
Oh, he has 4 there.
Yeah, the 2.
Okay, I am going to spend toward the value. Never underestimate the wit of an old Cation. I could sit and wait on this, but I am trying to pressure him to make a move now.
I'll take that.
Bam.
2 momentum gained, and 1 second. Sorry, I'm eating while I'm playing or running this game, guys. So I apologize.
How dare you? I've never done that. There's no evidence to that.
Earl Grey tea, hot.
Sure. After your little speech, very well. We will take you to see someone. And he goes, prepare for escort transport. And communication cuts. And you get a signal to hold position.
Khan, please comply with their flight instruction. With that, and kind of folds his arms. Don't worry about it, Doctor. It's no fault in an officer to speak his mind.
Thank you, Captain. I appreciate it. Want to make sure everybody's all right.
So yeah, Sarissa, you notice on the sensors that something's getting a ship, a very large ship, is getting very awfully close to you.
Sir, there's a large vessel approaching us. What kind of scale are we talking about here?
I'll give it to you. Scale 7.
Oh,
I'm gonna
dwarfing us, actually.
walk around. Are they within transporter range?
They will be soon, if they aren't already.
They're already in transporter range.
That's me going, I don't know their tag, so maybe.
Go ahead and modulate the shields.
Even have the shields up.
We're at yellow alert. We've had
We
the
are at yellow?
shields up.
Never mind.
Yep.
Right, well, modulating shields.
I just give a look to the captain just to make sure that he's all right with this approach.
I don't belay the order. I just keep quiet.
Right. Control security is like a diff 2?
Control scare system by the ship's structure security difficulty of 2.
Tactical systems.
Who's monitoring communications?
That would be fall to
I
ops
can.
by default.
For sure.
Yeah, I think I keep tabs of comms.
Sure, that was very tempted.
That was a threat, by the way. Fish?
I don't remember who did comms
Go fish.
on Enterprise D.
You remodulate the shields. You gain 4 momentum.
Captain, we are being requested to lower our shields.
Ask for a reason why. Although I'm gonna have a funny feeling I know what they're trying to do. He stands out of his chair.
Captain, can we go ahead and deploy security to the ship's hard points?
Make it so.
I will turn toward. I'll just look at Sarissa. I assume she knows what to do now.
Yeah, on it. Just move more security personnel onto active duty and to appropriate locations. Which is mainly engineering and the computer core.
They want to transport over to escort us to their planet.
They want to transport over.
Think that's what you meant.
If it's just one of them with an honor guard.
We don't get to choose how many once we put the shields down, Doctor.
No. Sensors, any weapons or shields on their end?
I would like to see what the status of their ship's shielding and weapons are.
Their shields and weapons are currently offline.
They're reading offline, Captain.
Find a weakness.
No, don't be doing that.
No.
To disable, of course.
No. I'm not. I don't have a valid reason to shoot. They're not shooting at us.
Not currently. I'm okay with that.
Starfleet regulations are not, however. Yes, let's make sure they're not going to do anything hostile. That's fine, but we can still be guarded. Let me know once our security personnel are in place across the ship. Once that happens, you can bring the shields down.
I think there's
If they want to be friendly and perp walk us to our destination, that's fine. That gets us to where we need to go. But if they want to start shooting, then we'll be ready to shoot. So be ready there, Sarissa, if they decide to take advantage.
Understood, sir.
Communications, did they say if they were just going to beam, like, anywhere on the ship, or are they going to use our transporter system?
We could at least meet our guests.
That would be the polite thing to do.
That's what I was asking, because
Give
there's
them
no
the coordinates.
meeting them if they're just going to beam on the bridge and then we walk to the transporter room.
Unfortunately, they are being vague in their responses, Commander. Lauren's the commander, right?
Yeah, well, yes.
Lieutenant Commander, but still.
Yeah, it's the same difference.
Same difference.
I'll meet them in the transporter room, Captain, or would you like me to stay here?
Stand by here for now.
Someone needs to go meet them.
I feel like they're just going to show up here on the bridge.
So wherever they are, we'll contain them and then meet them as needed. If they show up here, well, everyone knows what their Type 2 phasers are, so just be ready if they decide to abuse our trust.
All right, so there's a security presence plus security difficulty 1 to deploy security throughout the ship.
Okay. I'll just use a momentum because we've got the bunch.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
You get the momentum back, and you deploy security throughout the ship. As you're giving the orders, and everyone's waiting patiently, nervously, for people to beam aboard your ship, you hear the hum of essentially sensors to indicate that they locked tractor beam on your vessel, and they raised their shields.
Oh, we're within their shield bubble?
Yes, you're within their shield. Shield bubble.
That makes sense.
So there's no shield between us and them.
Right. There's no shield between you.
We're in their shield.
Yeah.
They're taking us with them.
Study what you can, I guess. You need.
Yep. Thorough scans. Get as much as you can. If they want us to, they're being extra friendly with us. We can be extra friendly right back.
I get it.
If you wish to scan their ship, This is going to be reason plus engineering assisted by these ships' sensors plus engineering difficulty of 1. Because advanced sensors.
Reason engineering.
Yes.
I'll use one of those handy dandy momentums we have.
Oh, sorry.
Zing.
Ship assists.
Sensors plus engineering.
Engineering.
I knew you'd figure that out.
No reroll required.
4 momentum, so what? 4? Too much float.
Information. Advantage.
You know what? I am just gonna give the ship sheet to let Vogel peer to it.
And I'm definitely going to pass that over to Sarissa for technical
Oh no, I
analysis.
want you to say it.
Oh, okay.
That's reassuring.
Wait, like read the ship's sheet to us?
Well, sort of.
Interpret it, basically.
Whenever I get that.
Size 7.
It's you have access to the
Well,
sheet, so
Jordan-
you have to go all the way down to 10. Here, I will move the sheet up so you can see it.
Oh, it's in the list. I see what you're doing, yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And you just start to see like a like a what the hell am I reading face on Vogel. Captain, I'm starting to scan some of their systems. It looks like this is armed to the teeth. Advanced armor, advanced shields, fast targeting systems, secondary reactors to supplement their power. Looks like rapid fire torpedo launchers, quantum torpedoes, anti-photon array. This thing could probably do a lot of damage to our sovereign, if not match it, Captain.
A true and bred battleship, by the sound of it.
I'll mind my tongue.
I definitely recommend that we do not get into a firefight with them, Captain.
That's the hope.
Because looking at their weapons, it has devastating attack and vicious one.
So
Before the captain before Brex took it away from me.
Huh.
But I could still send some stuff to Sarissa.
Yeah, that's so.
Uh,
Yeah, no, I agree with that recommendation.
Do you see anywhere on the ship that a small away team could beam in quietly?
Question the first.
yeah, freebie question, so.
No, I'm reading lots of interlocking sensor fields.
Do you sense any of our personnel aboard? Any Federation persons?
No, Captain.
Ah, that's one mystery solved. Vogel, would I be right to assume that we're simply just pulled into their field? We're not being pulled into the vessel in any way.
They're just holding us in the tractor beam, right?
It's not big enough to hold a ship our size.
Maybe it's bigger on the inside than on the outside. Space is a weird place.
It almost is big enough to hold us on the inside.
Like basically they're not trying to dock with us, right?
Yeah, that's more what I'm worried about. Yeah.
I'm not sure if he answered me or not.
They have a tractor lock on your ship. The ship is actually much larger than yours. And they extended their shields around the Tenshi.
Right. But they're not trying to like
No, they're not trying to dock.
or move us closer to some docking port. No, Captain. They seem to just be holding us in their tractor beam.
Well, if I was going to escort a ship somewhere, this would be a way to do it. It's a little aggressive, but
It's like holding petulant child.
yeah,
Well,
they're holding our hand. Make sure we don't kick and scream.
we are being escorted in the most gentile way I think they can understand. It's really the very
Captain,
seems.
Captain, oddly enough, I am not detecting a warp drive on the ship.
Well, what's powering their ship?
Well, they have gravity waves. That's strange.
You could check for a singularity drive.
Yeah,
Probably
that's-
one of the free momentums. I'll ask that. Are they using a singularity or something similar? The only power sources I'm reading are antimatter reactors and fusion reactors.
What was the anti-photon device?
Are we traveling faster than light at the moment?
It's still holding in position currently. Like, why you're asking is like, there's stuff they're doing on their end, by the way.
Yeah.
But
Well, we will when we go faster than light, we'll be able to detect how they're doing it, most likely.
Yeah. So keep sensors on.
I might have just used our final float if the GM takes the question.
By the way, how did we? How did you scan for them before when you were on the deep space station? How did we see through that last time?
If I recall, I think we nearly hit them.
Collision, you mean?
No, never mind. We had a shootout on the station, and then reached a peaceful resolution. And after that, they just kind of revealed themselves to us.
Yeah, that we knew it because they decloaked.
Put security force fields around all critical systems, and keep the access to only highest level personnel that are needed to operate.
Captain,
On that
I'm going to
point,
return to. Pardon. I'm going to return back to medbay, out of sight, out of mind. Might be better, but I'm concerned. I'll be in the medbay if you need
Great.
me or anyone.
Very good, Doctor.
Internal security fields.
You're saying, Lauren?
may we meet in private?
Ready room.
I will get those internal security fields set up, sir.
Very
just
good.
as you head to the ready room, something happens.
Captain, a gravity well is forming around the shields of the ship.
Maintain scans. Get as much data as you can. We might be watching how they traverse space.
I'm gonna scan those gravity wells.
Before you get able to start scanning, it disappears, but on sensors appears suddenly a Class M planet.
They use wormholes. Get our last location and compare it to this location. I think they're generating artificial wormholes over short distances.
I will
I think-
triangulate our position then.
That sounds right, actually. That makes sense.
Reason plus con, difficulty 2. This is by sensors plus con, so difficult.
Stellar cartography for a focus.
I'm thinking more like astronavigation.
I think the only thing close to that might be astrophysics, but I don't think that would apply here.
I'll take one of those two for added increased complication.
I'll do it. You said diff 2. I'll give you, or I'll use one of the momentums. Ooh. I believe I have a reroll because we use sensors.
Computers are
Yeah,
sensitive, triggers
Yep,
it.
that's
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
So I'll reroll.
Oh, a bunch of float. I'll send you how far you traveled.
Yeah, we gained 4, so I think we got 3 float.
2, 3. Boop. Boop. Boop.
That's unbelievable, Captain. We just traveled 5 light years in the space of a few seconds.
That's why they report them appearing out of nowhere over their planets, because they literally do. They appear having not traveled. That is probably also how we didn't see them coming when they took Solon. They didn't need to be there but for a few minutes, and then they can just leave. We didn't see them leaving. We didn't detect them leaving because they didn't.
Simple as opening a door and walking through it.
GM, for 2 of the float momentum, can I create an advantage that I was able to scan the wormhole while we traversed through it? For
Or that
future study, of course.
No, because there's other things at play when that happens.
Worth a shot.
We might want to investigate the possibility of anti-graviton beams or an anti-graviton torpedo as a defense against this.
Is that something we could fabricate in a short amount of time?
I don't even know that it would work, just the first thought to a possible solution. Maybe we don't know. We don't have enough information. We don't have any information to determine how to stop them, but if I had to take a guess, that'd be the first thing I'd try. If you want to manufacture one just in case, so we have it, in case that is right, we can get started on it, but I'm not promising it will do anything.
Research for another time, given that we're right under their noses at the moment. Any further instruction from them?
We're being hailed.
Inform them to stand by for a moment. And he motions at Lern to follow him into the ready room.
Before you go to step in, I'll just say, events have far surpassed what I had to mention. It might not be relevant in a minute and a half. If it's still relevant after this conversation with them, I'll let you know.
Oh, well, very well then. He motions you back to the chair as he's heading back to the center chair.
And when a captain takes a spot, I'll open the hail.
On screen, I don't know if I drag the token back over. Appears the Admiral again. Maintain a geosynchronous orbit over this coordinates. We will be transferring coordinates when you can beam down.
Very good. Thank you very much, Admiral.
He just kind of looks at you like, and just doesn't really give a gesture and just closes the communication.
They have released the tractor beam, Captain.
Follow instruction. Enter the orbit as suggested by our guests. Hosts. Sorry, I'm not used to being the host in this scenario.
Captain, permission to start scanning the planet's surface.
They didn't tell us we couldn't. Go ahead.
You know, prime directive concerns is why I asked.
Yeah. Captain's like, yeah.
And raise the shields.
Anyone with weapons on around us?
Well, that would be part of my scan, is scanning for ships and, you know, proximities.
General
and-
sweep.
Yeah, general sweep.
I'll give you two this. The 6 vessels are all in orbit. They've kind of taken up sort of similar path lines along it. They have their shields up. Their weapons are offline, but they are essentially they have sensor lock on you. So,
Well, if they have their shields up, it's perfectly. Raise our shields, leave our weapons off.
Oh, I was gonna roleplay. Boo.
That's not allowed here. I don't know what ship you think you're on.
oh,
I know, right?
I'm kidding.
No
Sorry.
fun zone.
Sorry for not sending it over.
Fine, I'll fix it up and shoot you.
Well, it wasn't so much you; it was the captain that just started doing orders.
Oh.
While you're doing a scan, we are going to change scenes and cut to Solon.
So we're down to 5.
It's totally not relevant, but what I was going to ask you in the ready room was if that we might want to just go ahead and forget about the force fields and prepare self-destruct, because if they beam on, we can't do anything about it.
Yeah, I was thinking that myself, to be honest.
Yeah.
I didn't want to voice it yet. I was like, maybe they're listening. I'm going to keep quiet until we need to.
That seems a little drastic.
Duty of a captain is not to let the ship be captured. Which, like, if they're just giving us a drive, that's okay. If they're trying to steal the ship, that's really not okay.
Sorry, I'm setting up the scene because I gotta move stuff around.
So about 6 Borg, a gun turret of some variety, a dragon.
I think he has just enough threat for all that too.
Yeah.
Shields start going.
And Solon has to fight his way out of it, honor duel style, except not honorable because they're outnumbering him. But he's a Vulcan; he can do it. I believe in him.
Well, Borg
Yeah,
cube versus one single human, I think you have a pretty good odd, unless they just nuke the planet.
I'm thinking with my fitness plus security, my first move will be to allow the Borg to assimilate me so that I can escape.
Flawless logic.
Anyway, Solon, you finally come to. You're not really sure how long you've been out. And you find yourself, as you look around, in some sort of medical room, and you appear that you can't move your limbs. It's almost like something is pulling you down against the bed or whatever you're laying on.
Can I wiggle my fingers and toes?
No.
Can I? How much of my surroundings can I see?
Give me insight security difficulty 1.
I keep always asking those security rolls. Well, I want to use one of those. No, it's just one. I'll take a chance. I probably should not have done that.
That's challenge dice.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
From what you can see, it's almost similar. There's a lot of like carved stone in the room, and essentially a bunch of tables. At least what you can make out. Several computer terminals. There's a little bit of a hum. Sounds like maybe from a generator or possible some sort of ventilation. And a door where there are two guards in suits standing by watching you.
Solon will call out to them. Excuse me, guard. Am I being restrained, or has your device somehow damaged me?
They remain silent.
Well, that's informative. Well, again, guards, I wish to speak to someone in charge. And then he would begin rattling off the appropriate sections of the United Federation of Planets, Geneva version of the Geneva Convention is concerning prisoners of war.
Although consider they're not necessarily signatory since they only just met us.
Something to get their attention with.
Well, you don't want to bore them with the tenets of Sarek and the logic and serenity and all that stuff?
No. If I wasn't restrained, that would be my plan. I would put them to sleep and then make my escape. Any response from the peanut gallery? I mean, the guards?
No, there's no response to the peanut gallery. Just as you make your witty Vulcan comments and try to allure one of them to speaking, neither one of them cracks a smile as, a typical British guard would do. Walks in from what you can see, at your current incline on the bed, a woman with dark red eyes walk in and just kind of take it as a glance, like she goes, "Oh, you're awake," and walks over and proceeds to pick up an object. As she heads back over and takes a seat next to you, looking at you, holding a bowl, and begins eating some sort of berry.
Are you in charge of this facility?
Are you hungry? You've been out for several days.
I am more than capable of going an extended period of time without nourishment.
Are you sure these are quite delicious?
I have no doubt. May I ask how may I address you, or is Miss or Lady sufficient?
You could call me Aruka. I believe your name is Solon?
That is my name, yes.
Such a fascinating mind you have. You sure you're not hungry?
The point that she says that Solon is going to concentrate inward and begin drawing his mental defenses.
Control plus command, difficult. You set the difficulty.
I had nothing to spend determination on here. I'm gonna go out on a limb and attempt to spend a point of determination of the value of duty to ship and crew to keep this woman out of my mind, to keep her from obtaining Starfleet secrets.
Sure, I'll accept that.
Okay. All right, that'll give me, and then I'll spend 2 of those momentum for a third die, so that'll give me 2 automatic successes, and then so 4 successes.
So difficulty is 4.
But since I spent momentum, I can re-roll that 1, right? Direct cautious command.
Yes.
There you go. Call it 5. I got my determination back. Sorry, I get excited about that. It happens so rarely.
Huzzah!
Well, my, you are definitely the strong-willed type.
Perhaps we should now have a conversation in a polite fashion.
You prefer another type of conversation?
In Vulcan culture, accessing someone's mind without their permission is considered vulgar. Quite rude. Socially unacceptable.
I can see that, given your limited telepathic abilities.
Even among Federation races with more advanced telepathic abilities, it is still considered unacceptable among non-telepaths. Federation is quite enamored with privacy and personal rights. How does your society stand on personal rights and privacy?
Oh, it changes from year to year, century to century. Depends on who is in power.
So you're saying your society lacks consistency?
They lack proper leadership, if that's what you're referring to. I was hoping that we could be civilized. I am offering you food. If not, if you are thirsty, I can get you something to drink. Water, tea. I heard Vulcans like green tea.
I am fine for now. I would rather have conversation. Perhaps you could tell me of your current conflict with the nation states around you, or the planetary systems in the region.
Well, how can I trust you? You close your mind off to me. It's rude among my people.
And we have learned something of ourselves, that we have at least one cultural difference. Perhaps if through conversation we can find cultural similarities. Through conversation.
Perhaps, but I've already learned much about your people in this federation.
Well, then perhaps some information. You could tell me some about your people to make it a fair exchange. What is the nature of your conflict with the other worlds in this region? If you have learned of the Federation from my mind, then you know that we would be most interested in mediating your disputes, helping you to come to a peaceful resolution.
But see, I'm not really interested in peace, Mr. Solon. And it seems you're diving into something you already know little about.
Well, if you've learned about the Federation from me, then you know that we are explorers. That is what we do. Many of the species that run the Federation are driven by curiosity, desire to know what is out there. And destructive conflict is illogical.
I have caused no destruction, though I do take what I want. I wish to build, Mr. Solon. I wish to build, such a grand and glorious place for my people. Far better combinations than this.
Would it not be more logical to obtain such a place through negotiation and diplomacy rather than merely just taking what you want from others?
See, I have tried that way so many times, and it always ends up in disappointment. She starts eating more of the berries. Are you sure you don't want any? They're quite good. I assure you, they are not poisonous, at least from what I could tell to Vulcan physiology.
I am sure. Thank you. I would appreciate if you would return to me the use of my limbs unless I am injured as a result of your devices.
Oh, you are unharmed for the moment. Though the restraints that hold you, you will not be able to break from. I can't really have you wandering around my little humble palace.
Terms humble and palace are contradictory. It's either
Eh,
a palace or it is humble.
I suppose you are right, but one must look on the brighter side of things at times.
I read once of an Earth philosopher that would agree with you. Tell me, what are your intentions regarding my captivity? My journey to your palace was not intentional. We were merely trying to protect those that were with us to gain more information.
To be honest, I was hoping we could become friends. I help
So
you out, you help me out, and we go about our merry way.
Well, perhaps that is possible. What type of assistance do you need?
It's simple, really. I just need you to convince your captain to go as far away as he possibly can.
I anticipate that my skills at diplomacy are not that good.
Clearly. But somehow I think you would find a way.
Besides, your current endeavors are causing harm to another world.
Harm? What sort of harm do you think I have done to this world?
At the current time, you have abducted someone quite influential in the culture of their world. It's their oracle. He was. She was abducted when I was inadvertently brought with her.
Adoption is such a harsh word. More like freeing her from what binds her to her inner struggles.
I doubt that she will see it in the same manner that you do.
Oh,
Tell me, you said earlier that you are seeking another, I assume, another world for your people. Is that accurate?
I merely wish to set my people free. Let them come to their fruition, their desires. To be truly free.
Freedom can mean different things for different peoples. What does it mean for you and yours?
It is different for everyone, Mr. Solon.
Well, the Federation is of the purpose of helping other worlds, and there are thousands of uninhabited worlds in Federation space. If it is merely another world that you need, perhaps there is something wrong with this one. The Federation might be able to assist you with relocation efforts. You would not have to take someone else's world. It would be beneficial for all involved.
The problem is that world means it means so dear to me. I just couldn't depart from it. And about that time, um, in a doors open and there's a technically another guard. Wheels in the Oracle.
Does her wheels in? Does she appear to be injured in some way?
Other than the bandage that is currently wrapped around her hand that you did, she seems to be fine. But you don't see like actual physical restraints. It's more like she's glued to the bed.
That feels familiar.
My dear Shizuka, it's been a while. And she kind of looks horrified and shocked from us, like, I know that voice. And we cut back to the Tenshi. Scene change.
Down one momentum, down to 2.
And we were full a few moments ago.
Hey, now I only spent 2.
3 technically because your scene ended.
We lost what our says when our scene ended.
Okay.
So
I believe you're scanning the planet, and so that's going to be your reason plus science. Base difficulty 2, assisted by these ships. Sensors plus science, so difficulty of 1.
I'll use a momentum.
All right.
No, not allowed.
I mean, these types of rolls are what we generate momentum.
Oh,
off of,
yeah.
So, I mean, if you'd rather right not.
No, I guess it's fine. Jeez. Wow.
All right, I'll re-roll mine. Ugh.
So much for that generate momentum thing.
Well, I still have one more re-roll, so re-roll the ship.
Oh, sorry. Ship.
I think it's what the hell?
On the plus side,
You
you
generate
generate 1.
You generate momentum. You have 2 momentum. What do you wish to do about the
Oh,
complication?
this is just to scan the stuff. I don't care. We'll let it stand. Not gonna waste momentum on that.
Complication, your eyes. Unique glasses.
Why was Vogel looking outside the ship with her eyes to scan?
It's a
That's
Mark
how
1
sensors
scanner.
work now.
They just have telescopes. You just look outside through the screen.
Unfortunately, that's going to be the complication because as you're scanning, I'll give you the information of what you find. The ships in orbit next to you begin to emit a sort of dampening field that prevents your sensors from scanning.
Bastards.
Scanning further because we did succeed.
Yeah, scanning any further, they are preventing you from scanning further. So
Understandable. What are they scanning for? You know what? Let's just not let them do that. Who knows? Maybe they're looking for a weakness in our planet and they want to crack it.
Or a place to beam down?
Well, they're going to give us those coordinates, apparently. But then again, they say they're going to beam onto the ship, so...
What did you learn?
I imagine much typing is happening. Hence why I was filling the air.
But wait, there's more.
But wait.
that's you have questions you can ask. So
Oh yeah. It's a typical M-class world captain. I'm detecting about 500,000 humanoid life forms, mostly in small settlements around the coastlines.
Sounds like a frontier world. Low population density. Or they simply just don't populate planets that much. Send a navigational ping back to our contact in the Federation. No particular message, just let them know where we are. Even if it does take a while, at least they'll know navigationally where we are. Eventually.
I'll send the navigational updates to Starfleet now, Captain.
you do that.
I'll just send you a few questions to just fill up the free stuff if you wanted to move on. Mostly for my personal reference for the questions.
one of those is not or the ships, that was already stuff you knew. So
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't any others that we did not account for.
none that he picked up, other than
Okay, cool.
those 6.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't have any other questions.
It is interesting that they have so many ships to greet just one vessel. It seems they have a strategy of overwhelming force, which either means they have so many ships to spare that they can throw that many at just one intruding vessel, or something else.
That or we stumbled upon a forward base of sorts.
That's true, actually.
A ship that large, you would want to protect it.
Well, certain groups use their have fleets that stay in formation a lot of the time, rather than our exploratory system. So floating armadas rather than spreading out, which is great tactically, not very great if you want to scan for things or watch out for things. Have you gotten word about those coordinates yet?
They went AFK, and I sent them a bunch of stuff.
Oh no.
Well, the presumption here is that they're going to let us beam down and cooperate with them. Given the situation, I'm more inclined to send you down, Laren, along with an away team to go to forward the investigation while I mine the ship. Right now, I don't think we're at the nice diplomatic stage quite yet. We're collaborating to clear their name and get our officer back.
I was afraid you were going to make it a difficult thing to keep you on the ship. I'm glad you've decided on it.
And in this case, I think it would be a little reckless of me to go down when we don't have a commander or higher command officer. You'd be right
Not to mention
to
the Starfleet regulations.
that too. Yes, he smiles. I do wonder what they think of the Federation after such a long period of time. I had some time to look over some of the logs from previous contact, all the way back to the USS Argo. Apparently, they had some contact with them, so they know who we are. This isn't first contact. This is at least second contact, if not further on. So they just never really interacted with us, from what I can tell on the computer. Mostly because they don't care about us and they think we're not a threat.
The only time I've ever heard of us coming across someone with vessels designed like theirs and it not degenerating into an all-out bloody conflict because they were hell-bent on conquering us was the Andorians. And I think they only didn't do that because the Vulcans were a greater threat to them.
But if they wanted to...
I recognize that Tim is right there. in general, people who build ships like that do not get along with us without several decades of work on our side.
Well, if they were going to invade us, they've had decades to do it. They seem to have been wrapped up in their own conflict for these last few decades.
I mean, the Borg had centuries, but they got around to it eventually.
That's not reassuring.
Vogel, I sent you a bunch of stuff.
Yep, I'm reading them now. Captain, it looks like we have just received a set of coordinates from the Indan.
Sorry, say again. From the what?
Is that how you said that? Indan?
Indon, yes. That's the vessel that you've been communicating with.
Oh, right.
It appears they are requesting that the leader of our ship, I'm assuming you, Captain, beam down to the established coordinates.
They don't know
No.
that.
Hail them for me. This may need a little more explanation.
We'll hail the ship.
A few moments pass by, and they answer. Is there some confusion?
No, I just wish to explain to you, Admiral, that Starfleet regulation prohibits a captain from going down to a planet under certain conditions. You requested my presence on the planet. That would not be something I could do within regulation with the lack of my assigned executive officer. However, I am going to send my senior-most officer down along with a detail to assist with you. But I will be at ready contact should you need me here on the ship.
Your presence is required, Captain. If you wish to
May
bring
I ask-
down appropriate individuals, you can.
I'm afraid it's not up for negotiation because it's
It
not
is
entirely his
rude.
decision.
It is rude when dealing with a high-ranking member of the royal family for not a individual of pristine to be in their presence. Your captain is required to attend.
It's unfortunate, but he cannot.
Then
In
I
the
s-
event of my injury, regulation would require whether by misadventure or not would require our ship to withdraw, which would endanger this mission. So I believe we're at an impasse. I can, by sending my senior most officer down, that is as much trust as regulation allows, but
You will not be harmed. I assure you of that. You have my word as an admiral of the Imperial Navy that no harm will come to you or your people. Beam down.
insight roll.
Insight command, difficulty of 1.
I'll throw momentum at this. Hey.
Gain 2. He does not appear to be trying to deceive you. If anything, he seems a bit annoyed that the meeting's even taking place, but he's literally like saying, like, you have to go. You don't have a choice in the matter. So,
But he doesn't seem like he's trying to deceive me. He is saying his word with sincerity. He's offering
Yes.
that promise with sincerity.
yes, he's offering that promise with sincerity.
If I assume you want us to trust your word, so you should trust ours that the officer he sends will act with the full faith and credit of him and the Federation. If you trust us that our officer won't come to, if we trust you that our officer won't come to harm, then you should be able to trust us that our officer has the authority to act. and the prestige to carry the meeting. Trust is a two-way street, Admiral.
I was talking to with your captain, with all due respect, but I will tell you this once again. Your captain and whomever he wishes to bring with him, or there is no meeting. And that is a complication.
Admiral, 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 it's not in my habit to question the word of an officer, especially one of esteem and tradition, as I imagine you are. So, with proper reprimand to myself, as my officer should do so, I will be going down to the planet, and I expect you to keep to your word.
I will.
I'll be at the coordinates then, Admiral.
He just kind of gives a slight nod and cuts the communications.
Lieutenant Commander Lauren, note in the log that Captain Athaton is violating regulation, and you may note objection to the file as is proper. Now the question is, how much of a guard do I bring down without seeming rude, since this seems like I'm speaking with a rather important figure in their government? I want to come...
You don't need a guard. There's nothing... Once you're down there, you're at their whim. No 1, 10, 20 phasers is going to matter.
All the same, I'd like to be down there with him.
Well, you're gonna need to at least come down anyway to help with any investigations. My days in security are many years behind me, so.
So, GMV, I have nothing planned for the ship, by the way.
Lego.
My intent is to go down in dress uniform with all the relevant deference to a head of state, or at least a senior member of their government, and to entreat with them in peaceable manner. But we're also going to be here for an investigation, so friendly but firm.
Understood, sir.
Oh, that's all I'm overhearing. Trying to think who to bring down at the moment, because I imagine we're going to be doing most of our investigating down on the surface and diplomatic efforts from there. So, Lieutenant Commander, Lieutenant Vogel, do you wish to come down for the investigation, or do you wish to stay up here?
No, Starfleet's already going to have a field day with you over this. If I went too, we wouldn't even have careers anymore.
Vogel?
Probably be best. This is out of character. You, Sarissa, and the doctor go down. Try to keep it kind of small.
Yeah.
You know, because if you do see the commander, you might have to ascertain his medical condition and render aid.
That's what I was thinking too. This is more a show of the captain being like, I'm kind of doing something very against regs here, so.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I can't story justify sending Lauren down, but I'm still gonna have an extra security officer go with you because I don't want to get cut out of the last 2 hours of the adventure.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do you want to bring down an extra security guy or an extra engineer?
No, you're not gonna be doing any engineering down there.
Hmm.
I'll just take Simon.
Okay. And we'll bring down one on a meta level. Vogel, do you want me to? Would you like to bring down a science person, or do you want to bring down an extra medicine person? Because I can bring down a full away team. So
It doesn't.
You have Dorsey.
Oh, the diplomatic attaché, yeah.
Yeah, bring him.
Yeah, we'll bring her down, sure, or him. We'll bring them down. We'll bring them down.
Token is of a female figure, so I'm assuming it's female.
All right. So, intended away team. So, any requests for gear beyond your standard? I can't think of anything that doesn't look too aggressive. One, two, three, four, five. Actually, you know what? Let's bring Alistair Cook down as well. He may have some insights into their culture while we're down there.
I mean, you guys don't really know anything about them, so other than
Exactly. That's why I'm hoping to bring a xenoanthropologist down. Like, well, make some observations.
All right. I guess that's 6. So 3 supports and 3 mains.
Lieutenant Commander Laren, you have the ship. So long as they're being friendly, let's stay friendly. But if they try to take the ship, you know the regulations.
All right. I'm gonna need a transporter roll, which is gonna be control plus engineering, assisted by the ship's sensors plus engineering, difficulty of 2.
Sensor engineering of the ship.
Just want to make sure you don't scramble your molecules on the way down.
It's been done.
We arrived on a planet just all over the planet.
I can't really fix that.
More like maybe in a pool of organic matter.
If you turn into a goo, that wouldn't be bad because I'm also going.
Yeah.
What was
Question
the
is, do you feel it?
Difficulty is 2. Control engineering. Yeah. Reason why is because of the sensor scattering that they have increases the difficulty by 1. It would be normally a 1, so.
activate Letha, I guess? Have a threat. Just to have a reroll possibility. Didn't need it.
Gain a momentum. You gain 3 momentum, so you're capped. The 6 of you beam down to the planet surface. Or, well, not planet surface. You beam into a... notes. in what appears to be a large banquet hall. It is filled with tapestries, flowers of bouquets, also several. Trying to remember. It's very elegant. It's used like well, you would find it like at a fairy tale castle almost like. Before you is a large banquet table filled with various of foods, potentially from the planet, which you can think of as maybe sort of meats, delicacies of different fruits and whatnot.
Ah, oh, well. Then just kind of scans, looks around the room, sees the admiral, nods. Admiral?
Captain, welcome to
Admiral?
Zithilles. Please have a seat and enjoy. They'll be here momentarily. And you do notice that there's a lot of guards in this room, all wearing the nice shiny suits. They're actually not black. These particular suits, just FYI, because I didn't feel like making a different token. But they're more of like a white, silver color.
So much lighter shade.
Yeah.
I can actually move the diplomatic attaché. I assume she says.
Who will be attending with us, Admiral, besides yourself and your honorable sovereign?
Someone from the royal family.
Do they have a name, sir? If you don't mind my asking.
He just kind of looks at you, raises an eyebrow. When they arrive, their name will be presented. I do not know who exactly is coming. I was not informed.
Ah, yes, I understand. Thank you.
Is there any? And actually, Ethan will actually start reaching out for some of the food and nibbling a bit.
I'm
Fitness,
gonna
no.
surreptitiously scan a piece of food before I eat it.
What? And you scan the food, and it all appears to be edible.
Great. Now you take a bite.
It is quite delicious.
Very good.
A little overcooked, but no one's down for blue meat, so understandable.
Looks like something similar to sushi over here, sir.
Oh, I could have some of that.
I'll pass some down.
Do any of the guards seem particularly on edge?
They are standing at attention.
Robots.
Is there any protocols we should be aware of, Admiral? When addressing a member of your royal family, we have minimal contact with your people, unfortunately.
When I stand, you stand.
He nods.
GM, could I have also scanned everybody else in the room at the time of my scan?
No.
They're a bit far away.
Or at
from
least
that.
the one across the table from me? with the momentum.
You gonna visibly scan them or like?
No, I'm just gonna do a quick scan like I did on the food. Just gonna scan and get a
Like,
basic-
whoops! I happened to aim the thing too high. I happened to scan him.
Well,
Reason, science, or I guess medicine.
guess medicine.
I guess. I mean, difficulty of 4.
Hmm.
Because you know, you're sitting down and you're trying to get a good angle on the tricorder and him not noticing, and he's just kind of like watching all of you. So, and there's
All right,
a lot
well,
of people.
Oh well, if they catch me, then doesn't matter.
If they catch you, there's a captain who might dig you out of it,
Yeah.
or just let you hang. Depends on my mood.
I know. You're caddish though. Anyway, cautious medicine. I'll spend a momentum, and then I will for our extra die. I need a 4. You said.
You might want more than one extra die for a 4.
I know. I understand. I do have. I don't know. Imaging systems might be the closest,
Xenobiology.
I'd buy a 4th dice.
or genetics. I'll buy a 4th.
I'm gonna say no to genetics because that requires tissue samples, really, or more.
Can I
in-depth scan.
surreptitiously take a tissue sample? No, I'm just kidding.
Here, let me pluck your hair real
Here.
quick.
Yeah, and I'm gonna reach
So
over.
again-
Let me shake your hand and take a little skin scraping.
You got a little. Sorry, are you? I didn't mean to do that. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I am so world. I gotta trim these more often. Okay. Anyway, actually, if that probably could do it. Anyway, yeah, right. So I bought that, and then no focus. So I get back.
Oh my god.
I got a 1 reroll.
Oh, hey, maybe this reroll will get it.
It
I'm
might.
s-
You might need to determination it.
Determination. How about doesn't believe in a no-win situation?
I mean,
I really want to say
Or-
no, but I'll allow it.
Okay. Thank you. So I get to reroll all 3 of those. Is that true?
I mean,
Well,
Or
you
you
already
wanna
re-rolled the complication, I'm
Wonderful.
assuming, so you probably only want to re-roll 2.
yeah, probably just want to
Okay.
reroll 2.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
I'll
way.
let you-
Chinny chin chin.
Hit.
Okay.
I forget if the doctor's a veteran or not.
I am a veteran, so I will do
Hit your
6.
challenge die.
Not 7.
1.
Just one challenge dice.
If there are 7 chances, my god.
You do not get your determination back.
No effect, but 2 points.
Just take veteran multiple times to give you more dice, right? That's not how that works.
Yes.
I use my determination.
I'll get a 5 stack of veteran, sure.
No, that doesn't. It doesn't work that way. Okay. So you discreetly scan them. The admiral in question, he appears to be very close to a human genome type. There's definitely some differences, but he does seem to have multiple implants, sort of like enhancements. And the 2 guards with them, they're humanoid as well, but they appear to, all of them appear to have some sort of physical enhancement done to them.
Okay. Machine man. Does it seem like their brain is in control, or is there a robot in control of the brain?
Oh no, they're in full control of their bodies.
Okay, fine. Okay. Cybermen would be a bad thing.
It's like they're like enhanced to.
Augmented.
It's not really that they're augmented. You can tell like this stuff was done after they've been born.
Yeah,
Like-
they're
The
Enhan-
Borg, but the person's in control instead.
Yeah.
like extra, spring in their knees or legs or stronger.
Just impressive cybernetics.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, I will keep that in mind. Can I transmit that to Sarissa?
That's a
I can pause, I guess.
daring plus engineering difficulty 2.
Daring engineering. Not bad. Just to be sneaky about it, you mean?
Yeah.
Presumably anything that any signal sent in their space they're picking up on. So
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll take one more. I'm taking all your momentum. I'll take one more for a die and get 2 successes.
You managed to send over the data to Sarissa. You get a little beep on your tricorder, Sarissa.
Then I put it away.
that'll probably be the
And that's a daring presence coming ahead. Wait, no.
probably be the raised eyebrow. Check
Presence
it quickly,
security.
put it away.
So, Admiral, may I ask where we are enjoying this lovely meal? I know the planet. I mean, he gestures around him. The place on the planet.
This is a getaway for the royal family, and also to conduct state affairs with outsiders.
Ah,
So akin to an ambassadorial suite, as it were.
I suppose something along those lines.
Ambassador, any thoughts?
Whoever doesn't have their main characters can play a supporting character. So whoever wishes to take that up can.
Sure.
I believed it was vocal. They're gone again.
The what now?
I thought you were interested in doing the ambassador.
Oh, I could. What was the question?
Any thoughts, Ambassador?
about this place being a
Ambassadorial suites that we're meeting a royal family.
Several times in Earth history has it been necessary for heads of state and monarchies to hold such extravagant ceremonies to meet other heads of nations.
Is that the nature of this meeting?
It's my opinion that they are just as curious about us as we are of them. And what better way to sate your curiosity than a dinner party?
Well, I must say that the food is quite delicious.
Hmm.
How is that sushi-like thing? Was it palatable?
It is. I've developed a taste for it in my time on Otherworld.
Indeed.
I prefer red meats generally, but raw fish
Ah, yes.
works for me just fine.
Yes, I keep that in mind.
Well, you humans have a real attachment to vinegaring your raw meat for some reason. Makes it, I'm not sure how you choke that down, honestly.
Well, I've to each their own palate, I guess. The smoked versions of them are quite excellent in some ways. You might want to consider barbecue. Even though you could put that on red steak, as it were, if you wanted to. It's the flavor and the heat that comes from it. If you put a cayenne on it, I think you might like it. A little hot, but a nice little rub on your steak would be delicious. Perhaps cream of tartar, actually. The replicator would not do it justice, though. Like Gok.
Yes.
As you're engaging in conversation, there are two doors. We'll just mark it real quick. They open up. As they open up, a slight mist forms into a thick fog as it starts rolling into the room. And walking out of as the fog clears, appears a woman dressed in a sort of white military-style dress uniform, and approaches and is announced as now presiding Princess.
I stand.
Alinea of House Kula. And she takes a seat at the end of the table as the Admiral sits back down. My apologies for being late. I was engaged in other matters of the state. My brother sends his condolences. He will not be able to attend.
There's a saying in the on several of our Federation worlds that a sovereign is never late. Everyone else is simply early.
She smiles a bit. So I am told you here on a concern about the Aerthian, cannot talk all of a sudden. Aerthians, and about a certain kidnapping of one of your officers.
Yes. I regret to tell you that my officer seemed to have been captured by persons dressed very much like your honor guard here, but in a much darker, almost, he looks around, black tone, I believe it is. And we were trying to, as is tradition with us in the Federation, we were attempting to interject some diplomatic assistance in what way we could when suddenly these persons wearing these uniforms barged in and captured one of their members of their world and took them. In the conflict, while I evacuated the people, the rest of the personages there, my executive officer, one Commander Solon of Vulcan, was taken while trying to capture one of the attackers. We were told by the persons, these Aerthians, that this was the nearest world that we could go to get answers. So here we've come, looking for them, and hoping as well to engage in diplomatic concourse in the same time. But I think I have a duty to retrieve my officer first and foremost.
I can assure you we do not have your officer. But from here on out, as you continue negotiations, we are going to go to an extended task. But before that, I'm going to introduce a little something called a reputation table for various NPCs you encounter along the way. And I will make that available to everybody. It will be a handout under the Tenshi NPCs.
Tenshi NPCs, reputations.
Yes. So as you gain reputation with the various...
That's Tenshi NPC reputations, which is exactly the opposite.
Yes, that's a misspelling. Whoops. You're just-
They hate us so much. This is how much they hate us. So far, a lot.
That's a
It's
misspelling
true.
on my part, so I apologize. Typo. Let's do that for a quick. So with this table, it starts at most of the NPCs are going to start at 0, or they're going to start at a negative, depending on other views they might have. That will change as you go through the process of trying to gain this reputation, which will either be through extended tasks or tasks that I will hand out variously, to sort of gain credibility with these NPCs. With that being said, it can go negative through other actions of other NPCs, or events that happen, or things that you mess up on. And with the way the table's set up, if you go to around negative 16 and negative 20, they're most likely going to be more like try to hunt you down type deal.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas you're on the positive side, they could be a trusted ally, go out of the way to do, to help you out and whatnot. Any questions on that front?
Not yet, anyway.
Okay. For part of this, we're going to go into a sort of timed extended task. You're going to have a number of intervals to kind of make your point across to the princess here. This is going to start at a difficulty 5 presence command, and people at the table can assist with this if they want. Keep in mind, your assist can also affect negatively depending on how you do so. The work for this is going to be 25, magnitude of 5, resistance of 2. The magnitude is representative of how many reputation points you would gain, favor for her or potential. Okay?
All right.
But each time, so the amount of intervals you're going to have is 10 for this extended task. So you're going to have 5 tasks to do to get those 5, So yeah, she made the comment that we do not have your missing officer, but she is willing to listen to your plight.
That's most gracious, Your Highness. Thank you.
Your admiral had informed us that of the same as well, and part of the reason why we came here is in hopes to collaborate with you and your security forces to determine who is acting in your guise, and possibly figure out, 1, where my officer is, and 2, who's trying to make it look like you're the ones trying to cause problems. Now we can't sign any particular formal agreement here quite yet, since we are in a somewhat tense situation, I'll admit. However, I believe the diplomatic attaché from the United Federation of Planets, Droisia, will be willing to hammer out a temporary agreement that can be formalized in a manner fitting of our 2 governing bodies. Since I do not speak unilaterally for the Federation, I am merely a servant to it. Cough, I'm assisting the diplomat with her role.
She has never rolled before, just so you know.
I know, but coordinated effort will make her very powerful in an extended task. Because I don't think anyone else has a better presence command than she does.
Anyway, Captain, you will need to make a presence plus command difficulty 5. You do need to make that first roll because even though you're handing it off to her, you're trying to get her to be willing to listen to her on the matter.
Okay. In that case, one momentum. And 5 threat for the additional 2 extra dice.
Mic drop.
1 momentum gained. Roll 6 challenge dice.
Gonna re-roll some of those whiffs. There we go.
That's 5. So that's enough for your first breakthrough. Difficulty is now 4. Very well, Captain. Madam Ambassador, what is it that you exactly seek of me? I have already given you our answer.
Who's talking here?
Droisia.
Ambassador?
Who's playing who? I thought I was playing Cook for some reason.
Oh, you're the ambassador.
I thought that was falling on. I thought the ambassador was falling on Solon, since you're going after Cook and.
Oh, never mind. Solon's the ambassador.
Because Winchester's
But
going
he's
for.
also Bureau back then, I believe. No, he's not.
I'm confused too.
I am so
No,
confused.
Fogel did speak for the ambassador like 10 minutes ago.
I
thought
thought that was
yeah.
for Cook.
No, that's for the
Oh.
ambassador.
I thought I was speaking as Cook. That's why I framed it the way I did.
Well, Cook's speaking up, I suppose. Like, well, I'm gonna say what's right because I'm the anthropologist expert.
Right. That's what I was thinking. Like, you're asking, like, what about these in the past? I'm like, oh, well, he would know.
I believe so, Solon. Since
I did not know that.
Et voila.
I don't think anyone other than the captain knows what's going on.
I mean, someone else was speaking for the ambassador earlier in the scene.
that was Cook. That's what caused the confusion.
Yeah, I figured there was at least a 5% chance Solon would be in the scene at some point. So I didn't speak up from the GM master and went to play a supporting character. and my wife just walked back in the door from a week's trip, so that's where I was greeting her.
Ah.
Who's talking?
We wanted the ambassador to talk, I think. Princess.
That's the GM saying who's talking and who's going to continue this.
Yeah. So Solon, to refresh you a bit, the idea that the captain had was he's assisting the ambassador in leading us trying to have a sort of temporary truce or alliance to look for Solon and find out who actually grabbed him, because they looked a lot like her people. But she's saying they're not. It's like, well, then you could find out who it was, and we'd like to help with that because we know who it is. So we're not. The reason he's assisting her is that he has the coordinated effort bonus. So it's actually better for him to help her run with it than him lead it, especially since I blew through all my resources.
Okay. Am I at this point? Am I rolling on this extended task? See, or
you are. So you have like other. The princess asks you what you seek of her, like what kind of aid, and you are trying to convince her to help you out. So this is part RP, part rolling. So, and depending on how you guys RP it out is going to affect the roll.
Aerthian, huh? I have no idea what that is.
Very proud of themselves. Luxurious. Like, this is the sort of place that she'd be completely comfortable with. Her homeworld, this would be normal.
Well, Princess, the Federation or the crew of the Tenshi here would need your knowledge of the area and the species in this region. Certainly, just need more information to be at a minimum to proceed with this task. Plus, your ships seem to share a technology with theirs. You could assist us in helping us track their vessels or their transports.
Presence command difficulty of 4.
Gonna focus my coordinated efforts on.
You need to kind of reinforce her conversation if you want to assist.
I was about to. I was mechanically explaining why I'm saying something.
Okay.
So mechanically, I'm putting coordinated efforts toward progression 1, basically saying, and to speed up this effort, the reason why we wish to do this through our attaché is that this will be an agreement between our civil government with you as their civil leader, and this will allow me to operate with your forces in as peaceful a manner as possible, rather than us scrounging around trying to find things and bumbling into your forces like we did today.
Okay, you'll be assisting with presence command. So, Dorsa, is that right?
Drosia, yeah.
Drosia, it's
All
presence
right, so
command difficulty 4. You have an assist from the captain with presence command.
Some momentum.
all right, I have folks as diplomacy and politics. I'm going to assume at least one of those foci will help.
I'll take diplomacy.
And then I'm going to give you that momentum and spend 2 threats so I can get a couple extra die. Presence is command. Okay.
We're definitely going to be buffing here in a bit.
That you succeed, so roll 6 challenge dice.
In essence, it has vicious 1.
Good, because we need it.
That's 6 work, so that is enough for a breakthrough.
Yay.
You can see why I wanted to do it this way.
Yeah, that's all the
Yeah.
momentum.
Just as she was about to respond, the admiral kind of walks up and whispers some stuff into her ear. I understand. I will not be able to give you much help in that regard in terms for star maps or the various species that lie within our borders as well as outside of it. However, I am willing to continue listening to what you wish to ask of us in terms for aid. In terms for tracking, I do not see how we would be able to help track these individuals, because if we were able to and they are using our suits, we already would have recovered them by now. And for the next task, it's going to have a complication range of 3. Presence command difficulty 3, depending on how you roleplay.
Well, if they are using technology similar to yours, Princess, would it not? I think it would be to your benefit to help us locate them. If they are using technology perhaps borrowed or stolen from you, that does seem like an issue for your world. So the Federation would be could help you recover stolen technology if that is what happened, of course.
And with the ambassador's permission, I would be willing to share our sensor data regarding and our expertise and what we observed of the technology that was present and what was shared with us by the locals. Because frankly, this is a situation that could, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ambassador, of course, this could be an escalating situation that may result in more Federation input than maybe any of us really want at this stage.
I would agree, Captain. Plus, escalation of hostilities anywhere should be avoidable. I believe this would be mutually beneficial to both the Federation and your world.
Empire, Ambassador. Linguistics matter for the translator. Sorry.
My apologies. Technology sometimes just reliable.
That's what I'm for, Ambassador. He nods.
I still do not see how I could offer you any assistance on that matter. And I'm going to spend 2 threats. You lose an interval.
Okay. All right. Well, frankly, Princess, I think the problem is here that technological, you have information about this more than we do and expertise more than we do. And we have need of that expertise. Now, we don't expect you to just simply give us the secrets to your empire. That would be foolish on your part and rude of us to enforce. But we can ask you, as experts in the technology, on how to help find these people, rather than, again, to hopefully avert further hostile actions happening in this space with the appearance of your ships, because frankly these people may be led to believe that you're the ones perpetrating it. We're trying to make sure that only the truth is revealed and nothing else.
Yes, if others believe that you're responsible, it could damage your reputation outside your empire. No one wants their reputation damaged. Imagine the increase of status that the Federation, a Federation of planets as large as ours, having to come to you and humbly ask for assistance. An increase in status is much more profitable for all than a decrease, is it not?
Besides which, if I'm able to report that this bit of space is safer than I'm about to report, then further trade may happen between our powers and our various relations as well. All we need is expertise and the assistance of your fleet to help find these people. Because otherwise we just have to keep poking into your empire or near the edges, because this is the only lead we have to find my officer.
Presence command difficulty of 3, complication range 3. For I really want to argue that's the captain because he did most of the speaking and the ambassador assist. Unless you guys can convince me otherwise.
I'll take it just to move this along. I don't want to lose another interval. 6 threat.
Oh.
I need the dice.
Okay.
Well, rather, I need the momentum, more importantly.
Yeah.
Do you have that cheeky metal? No, probably not.
I have Medal of Honor that can fire.
Not the cheeky metal, though.
No. Whoops, hold on. That's a comp, sorry. That's 0 complicated.
Yes, that is a complication. 2 momentum gain, there is a complication.
I'm going to activate my Medal of Honor to generate 2 bonus momentum and quash that complication.
Okay.
Oh, I should probably roll my challenge dice. That'd be smart. I think I'm re-rolling one of those.
So you're going 4?
4 of those, even.
4 of those, even. Yep.
More than one of those?
That's currently 4 work.
1 for piercing should get it past 5.
Read it to 17, so 2 now. With 2 total 3 breakthroughs, and you're at 3 intervals.
3 difficulty.
Difficulty 2 at 3 with 3 intervals.
Tell me, Princess, because we've been talking so much about the Federation's needs at this point. Any agreement involves a give and take between 2 peoples. What is it that the Federation might be able to do for you in exchange for your assistance?
Well, I was going to speak before you spoke because she was going to reply to your stuff first.
Oh, sorry.
Yes. So I will cut that. So she comes out the comment. Trade might be something we might be willing to take, though I do not see how this solves your current predicament, as we stated before, that we do not have your missing officer, nor do we know of what is going on with these people.
Well, perhaps if you did not have the technological means to aid us, that's certainly understandable, as our opponents are quite advanced.
I will inform you, if they travel the same method as we do, it is very difficult to track them.
But it is possible to track them when you know what you're looking for.
It is, but it requires much effort to do so.
Well, certainly not an effort on your part if you could just tell us what to look for. But perhaps we could at least agree on something simple, as in free passage throughout your empire. And perhaps a suggestion as to where to start looking. When it comes to trade,
At least within a certain range.
not only are there hundreds of Federation worlds, we could make introductions with many other species outside the Federation that that thrive on trade, that are
So
excellent and voracious traders, like the Ferengi.
you're going to lose an interval, and she's going to stop you. You will not be able to freely pass through our empire. I cannot allow that, nor or any of our ships will allow it. Your vessel will be destroyed on sight. And I am taken away for work.
Well, there is a compromise here that keeps the security of your empire and ensures that we get the information we need, and that is the assistance of one or more of your vessels to assist us in the investigation.
Indeed, an escort, as you were, a chaperone.
Once we share the data with them, we'll be able to extrapolate together from that where we can start tracing, and with the assistance of one or more of your ships, we'll be able to move where we need to go. Now, if that means we have to go into your space, then that's surely an internal matter, and you can deal with it as you see fit and help get our officer back. If it's not, then the Federation, I imagine, Ambassador, would appreciate the clemency of your empire to assist us in finding our officer.
Indeed, we are obligated to look. It would be better if we did it in a manner of cooperation. It would bring mutual benefit to to your empire and to our federation. We could even arrange quick access to other quadrants.
Sorry, coughing fit. Presence command difficulty of 2.
Oops, I keep doing that. I keep grabbing the wrong sheet. Sorry.
Okay, which one of us this time?
The ambassador spoke last, so.
Okay, and on character sheet. Of course, diplomacy is the focus. You get 3 threat for the 2 extra dice. And away we go.
Captain already spent it.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Keep in mind, you have 2 intervals left. You do gain a momentum from that roll.
Oh, well. At least you still get progression. Hopefully we get intensely lucky.
Roll 6 challenge dice. You could.
Does that count as lucky?
2, 4, 6. That's total of 11. That's 9 work being done.
If only we had another. If only we had another momentum, we might be able to finish it.
Can we not use it to use penetration to lower resistance by 2?
Well, we could. It's just we're going to be 1 work short.
Well, it's but it is 11, so it's 2 breakthroughs.
No.
No, it's not. It's only 1. It's 5 or more.
Oh,
It's like ship combat, same idea.
not
Once you break 5, that's it. And the work is kind of like the shields we're breaking down.
My question is, it's going to end the actual extended task, and she's going to walk away from the table.
Well, we have the momentum. We could have it.
You wish to have the interval.
We'd have to.
That's the only way to keep it going.
I mean, yeah, if we can have the interval, totally.
Yeah, you can have the interval.
So we do have a complication.
She's not really convinced by your argument, so I'm going to take away 4. So 18 work. Actually decrease it even further to total 14. Like, she feels like this conversation is going in circles.
Yeah.
So
Well, she lacked education, so that's her problem.
Yeah, Your Highness, it's really important, I think, that at least you can point us in the right direction to find our missing officer. You know of these
okay,
people? Do they
Doctor,
name?
hold up. Before you go down, if you're going, are you wanting to partake and do this role?
I'm trying to bridge the gap for a moment.
Listen,
Any time you talk during the conversation, you are part of the role. You're part of the role, and you'll be either assisting or being the main role, depending on how much you talk. And
Understood.
there's a stopwatch. So, but real quick though, she's going to reply to all this. You asked for our aid, yet I've already told you it is difficult to assist you on such matters as this. The individual you're talking about, we wish to have no business with them nor care about their plight. Why would I put resources into aiding them when they offer us nothing and they have stolen from us?
Stolen?
If they have stolen from you, perhaps we could be of mutual assistance. Tell us what you need, and we can attempt to recover what's been stolen from you without you're giving us more information. I can't tell you how much. I'm unable to tell you how much of the start of the Federation's vast resources we can bring to bear on your behalf. If you have been wronged, madam, allow us to help you correct that wrong.
Plus, consider the diplomatic clout you're going to be able to exchange with us in the future, since we'll be assisting one officer gains you the favor of an entire civilization just across your borders.
And
You know
from
what
the
we
point
need.
of view of
What will it
assets,
take to gain your favorites?
There's only one interval left. If you're wishing to assist, you can speak. So
I'm trying not to stumble into points that'll cost us an interval, like the ambassador has done a couple of times.
from the point of view of not quite trusting us, if this is an organization that you don't particularly care for, that has acted against us and against you, assisting us in dealing with them allows you to witness or view and assess us from a distance, of which does not directly cause you trouble or indeed any harm. It is a good way to judge us, as you may wish to do so.
It would be important for us to make sure that no one would know of your involvement if that's what you are concerned with. In other words, if things go well and brings prestige to your empire, then you were involved. If things go badly, there's only the Federation to blame, and you don't know us.
presence plus command difficulty of I'm spending threat to make this 2. Comp 2.
Okay, I'm giving you all the threats so I can get the 5 dice.
Okay.
This is my last chance, right?
This is, it's a difficulty 2, and you're getting assisted by 2 people?
Yes, you'll be assisting Sursa.
Oh.
Sweet.
Well, I'm going to give you at least 3 threats.
Just to have that extra buffer, yeah.
Yep. This is one of those, I don't.
Make
I
it or
don't
break
need
it
to-
moments.
Yep.
Yeah. 'Cause if
Comp
you get
2.
0 out, comp 2.
Yeah.
Do not roll 5 complication, please.
Not re-roll. Just leave it alone. Yes.
I just about rolled comp 5 for some reason.
Don't remember what I
All
rolled
right.
last time that was, but hey.
1
Challenge
momentum
die?
gained. Roll 6 challenge dice. That's 6. So that is enough for the breakthrough to end everything. Which actually, yeah, they get to you at 20. So, yeah, that will complete the extended task.
Huzzah.
And this is where we've broken her down to the point where she admits she has Solon.
Doubt
No.
Worth a shot.
So I need to get up here in a sec. Let me give you a second. I need to. As you're speaking, someone's in opposition to all of this. Well, that's really not enough. So you guys do get 5 reputation from all of that with the princess. She seems a bit more trustful of you guys. All I can tell you is we do not, as I stated before, we do not have your officer. I cannot lend you one of my vessels to aid you on your task at hand. However, I will tell you that we did find the culprits who stolen from us, and that was the very people that you are currently aiding. And we indeed attacked their world and managed to secure our technology back from them. If anything, I suggest you focus your efforts on their homeworld. And from my understanding, it is in the northern eastern continent. Some small, pathetic empire, or at least they call themselves an empire.
Well, if you got your technology back, how are they able to affect their operation that you've seen in our file so far? That's what I'm confused on. If you have it back, doesn't it not mean they still have some left?
Or they reversed engineered it.
That's possible.
And if they did, I would ask you to humbly requisition the technology and bring it before us. If you would be so kind. And if they are indeed a threat, I will consult the Military War Council and they'll be dealt with.
Wait a minute. You didn't attack them first. Someone took something from you, and then you just went there to get it back.
Yes.
You haven't been fighting the Aerthians this whole time?
No, we have not. My brother led an assault against their world to make a point.
And that's how this whole mess started. Not him, the theft. So, well, 2 birds, 1 stone. Right then.
Well, that was helpful. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. We would appreciate these coordinates being shared with us where you detected where they were, and Ambassador, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think the Federation will mind us returning stolen property.
I believe that would be consistent with the Federation mandate.
if you manage to retrieve this property that was supposedly destroyed or retrieved from us, I'll be most willing to talk trade. Now, if you excuse me, I have a meeting I wish to attend to, and I would like to make my evening lessons. Good day, Captain. Good day, Ambassador. And she kind of like gives slight nods and
You've taken so much of your time. Thank you so much.
walks out and then disappears into a fog of smoke.
Most impressive.
It's kind of showy,
That's the best kind.
a little dramatic.
I'll have my vessel relay the coordinates and of the assault.
Most appreciated, Admiral. Would you be able to give us a lift part of the way out of your system, since you did bring us quite deep into your system? Shortening the journey through your space probably is to our mutual benefit. I imagine you're not any happier that we're here than you are presenting.
That would prevent misunderstandings as well.
President's command a post. Like, he's about ready to say, like, no, you just go on your way. We know how fast you travel. We can intercept you at any time if you cause a fuss. So, like, I am not your chauffeur.
Disarming
also the-
nature. I'm such a nice cat.
You know what?
Mask him so nice.
I'll spend 3 threat. Roll 4. I'll give you disarming nature.
She get an assist from the ambassador.
Master didn't speak. The captain is requesting this. So that's 4. That's 4. No, actually 5. Sorry, the 4.
I'll match his dice pool with threat. Might as well.
Man, I'm trying to get rid of threat.
Though we aren't really, much of a hindrance these days. We could be, take us anywhere, Admiral.
That is a tie.
So I would think
2, 3.
Eyes go the player.
Is it a tie
active.
Yep.
with disarming nature?
Oh no, you succeed. Yep.
Just barely.
Just barely. Yeah.
I was
I'm
sitting there going,
they got 5.
"Ooh."
They both got 5. Wait. Oh, that's right. Disarming nature. Damn it. Okay. A momentum has been gained.
It comes in clutch sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Have your ship prepare, and he just kind of snaps your finger, and the 6 of you just vanish, and you find yourselves back on the bridge of the Tenshi.
Just beams us straight back. Shoo.
Just go away.
That would,
That's
That was
I
convenient.
believe they are done with us.
We've overstayed our welcome, Captain.
I believe we have been dismissed. Well, that was interesting, Captain. I'll be in my quarters if you need me.
Thank you. Your expertise was most welcome, diplomat. What do you call him, ambassador?
Thank you again. That's hopefully the next time we negotiate with somebody, it won't be with someone quite so stubborn.
Perhaps it was nice to be in civilized surroundings for a little while. Not that the quarters you have provided me on the ship are horrible. You understand.
Thank you, Droiza. I'll see you at dinner later tonight.
Oh, I look forward to it.
Mm.
That's how you describe the character to me, so that's what you get.
Oh yeah, no, that's why I thought just kind of roll with like, yep, that's Endarian's. He's not
Yeah.
going to hold it against her. It's like, no, that's how you are. So, Commander Laren, we have some cooperation. It seems some would-be thieves decided to make themselves, got us into this mess. So we're going to charge forth to the planet and get our officer back and possibly retrieve some stolen goods.
real quick, Vogel, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna send you something.
The Undawn is signaling us to prepare for transport, Captain. They're
All right.
requesting us to lower our shields again.
Bring down shields. Khan, move into position. Follow their flight instructions. We're getting a shortcut out of their system instead of dragging our way through their space back the way we came.
Yes, sir. Shields.
And
lowered.
Vogel, keep a very close eye. Have the sensors running before they jump.
Aye,
See if we can
Captain.
get a bit of insight.
Try to get all I can.
All the threat.
Threat is good.
Yeah. Yeah. Go com 3. All right. This is going to be, as the ship prepares to jump, going to be reason plus science, difficulty of 5, complication range of 3, assisted by the ship's sensors plus science.
No problem. Determination spend for information. The key is the key to overcoming any obstacle.
You're not really overcoming an obstacle.
Oh, sure I am. My
you're not.
understanding of this phenomenon.
It's not
Plus,
a phenomenon.
consider we're fighting a force that has this tech. That's why I want to know about it.
Fine. I could always.
Got another one? That works.
With 5, huh?
2 momentum on the table.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably use all of it.
Here,
I'll
clear that.
take nothing is more important than the mission.
I'll take that too. And then I'll use the 2 threat. And then I have 2 rerolls, so this should work.
So you're spending.
The 2 momentum.
Are you rolling 4
For the-
dice?
Yeah. Well, I'm rolling 3 plus determination.
Okay, so it's just.
Just the 2 momentum. So then I'll have a reroll for that one, and if the ship nails it, we should have it. I'll reroll for my 0. I'll reroll again because I have 2 rerolls. There we go.
So 3, 5, 6. 1 momentum gain. Yeah, the ship is instantly transported across the essentially as you sensors comes to, you find yourself over another Class M planet, and the other ship disappears as it disengages its tractor beam.
Oh, he was sick of us.
Oh, yes, he was.
Thanks, dude. There's not even a how do you do there.
Very well, Khan. Ops, reestablish our current position, set course for the target world. Maximum warp.
You're at the target world. I'll just put it
Oh,
that.
they just dropped this off.
Oh. Okay, he just flew us the whole way there. That works.
Get the hell out of our space.
Fine, I'll give you drive. I'll give you drive the whole way there. Okay, sure. Not gonna complain.
Yeah, really.
Very well then. Very well, Khan. That was extra nice of him, I suppose, move us into orbit of the planet and begin scanning the coordinates that were provided to us by the by our hopefully newfound friends.
As you begin that, because things went so smashing well, scene change. This is the problem when you have to use this, theater of the mind and move tokens around, and place new tokens. Solon, as you watch, and a certain someone is quite literally, who pretty sure is not a nice person. Begins. It's more of like it just appears to be like a stare down, and you can see easily that Shizuka is experiencing some discomfort.
That is definitely not the polite conversation I was referring to, madam.
Only you could make this easier. And one of the guards comes up to her and takes off their helmets, revealing his symbol on on his forehead, and whispers into her ear.
Is the symbol of the forehead strike any recognition in everyone's favorite Vulcan?
No, it doesn't. But if you wish to memorize the symbol, you're more than welcome to.
I most definitely would like to.
Let's make this insight plus con. Div 2. Do that.
Okay, you're gonna make it hard for me.
I have no threat. I spent it all for a role I would really hope you guys were gonna make.
All right, so I'm gonna attempt to claim mental discipline as a focus here.
I'll take that.
And you said diff 2, is that what I heard?
Diff 2.
And I'm gonna give you a threat for an extra die. And we're gonna hope that that's enough. And it is.
You memorize you memorize it. I will show you the stuff later because I actually have to make it.
Okay.
And he puts his helmet back on, returns to his position, and she looks a bit frustrated and walks out of the room.
Oracle, are you okay? Were you able to defend yourself?
I thought she was deceased.
Who was that?
The Witch Queen Aruka.
Her psychic abilities are strong, though not unassailable. Were you able to prevent her from getting whatever it is she wanted from you?
For the moment.
Good. Do you know what it is she wanted from you?
To dominate me. To make me one of her enthralled.
something like a puppet.
She wants to
Or-
nod, but she can't. So, in a matter of speaking.
She expected a desire for me to convince my captain to leave the region. Having seen her, do you have any suspicion? Do you have any suspicions about where we are?
No. You could be anywhere. On any world.
So who is this witch queen? Some foe from your people's past?
She was the first of us. And she nearly ruled over all of our people. And with that,
Yeah.
we'll end today's session.